Could you tell me about yourself? Obviously your name, where you're from.
Okay. My name is Emanuel Vasconcelos. I am a first-year postulant with the Friars. I'm originally from New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I lived in the Springfield, Chicopee area for the last few years. That's exactly how I was actually exposed to the Friars, was through the ministry of St. Stanislaus Basilica in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Nice. And sort of when you met the Friars, what was it that attracted you to this conventual Franciscan experience?
Well, their way of life was attractive. It was something that I could see myself enjoying. It was something that you could tell that there was a spirit. You could sense it, and that was something that drew me in to look at it more, to see if this way of life would fit in my for the rest of my life.
Wow. Yeah, and so we're obviously here at St. Bonaventure Friary in Forestville, Maryland, and I just want to point out that the weather's beautiful, but
It is.
Especially for February. But what I wanted to ask was, what is the day like, and in sort of when you wake up in the morning, life in the Friary?
Sure. Well, Friary life, we have an horarium, a schedule that we follow for every day of the week. A typical day is usually right at 6:30 in the morning. We start with morning prayer, and then we go into Mass. So we start our day with the Eucharist. From there, we have breakfast. Most of us are able to stay to kind of spend time together to talk about our day, whatever's scheduled for the day. And then from there we go to our sites. So some friars go to school at Catholic University, and some of us go to the Washington Theological Union, which is where I go for classes currently. And after classes, usually my classes are done before noon. Others are done later. We come back home, we can do some work, do some reading, run some errands for the house or for ourselves. We have evening prayer at 5 o'clock usually. And after that, we go to dinner. We have our meals together in the dining room there. And then depending on what day of the week it is, we do dishes, we do some helping out with cleanup afterwards. And then the night's usually free for work or for socializing in the rec room.
Nice.
So that's a typical day in the Friary.
That's very cool. Sounds very like family life.
It
It's
is.
a family. Now, the other thing that I think a lot of people would be interested in, sort of people exploring Francis and the Franciscan experiences, in your mind, what do you think is unique about the Franciscan experience?
Well, I know that in my time here with the conventuals, I sense this just an appreciation of the humanness of life. You know, that there is this sense of living in this world in the now and appreciating it, that's the gift that God has given us. And that is something that I've definitely taken from my time here in the few months that I've been here. Another thing that I sense that is uniquely Franciscan is that deepening of our relationship with the Lord. I mean, you find that everywhere, obviously, but just this connection with the suffering Christ, with being a man of penance, and to really minister to those who are poor and suffering is very evident in the Franciscan way of life.
Thank you. And I guess maybe to finish off, what sort of advice would you have for someone who is thinking about religious life, someone who's just kind of, trying to figure it out?
Okay. If you feel a call, if you really do see yourself or imagine yourself in this way of life, then it's worth pursuing postulancy. It's worth looking at it. It's easy to abstract think, like to take something and think about it, but to be in it is very different. and that's something that will help you to make the decision better.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I started getting more information about the friars, the more I wanted to join.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I just kind of kept it at a distance and visited the website and that was it. It was more like, I want to talk with this person. I want to visit.
Yeah.
And the more that I did, the more I wanted to be a part of it. So I guess if anyone was considering religious life and considering the brotherhood with the Franciscans, it would be ideal to come to a weekend retreat, to visit a friary, to talk with a friar one-on-one. And if you're able to, God willing, to come to postulancy and to really delve into it, and that will help you to make your decision.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. That's very cool.
Sure,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.